Hi everyone. The NEET exam is very close now, and we all are worried about one thing: GT scores, isn't it? Well, whenever we get a grand test, we try to analyze ourselves, and whenever the scores are not improving, and suddenly the scores this has decreased, it really gives a lot of tension. In this video, we'll try to analyze as to what can be done to improve our GT scores. I have tried to make this analysis based on my own experiences and talking to so many of students who have really performed well over the years. So listen to this video carefully and try to analyze what might be wrong in your preparation and what can be made correct from this video onwards. Guys, before I talk about the different GT scores, which I have divided into the various categories, you might fall into less than 70 score, you might fall into 70 to 100, 100 to 130, 130 to 150, or more than 150, ultimate, correct, and minus responses. But before I move that, I need to talk about few other things. First thing is, what is the timing of GT? Well, I have seen some students appearing for GT in the night, and that too dividing the GT into two parts. We're taking a break in between. Well, the main thing you must understand is you give a GT to simulate the exact exam atmosphere. So ensure when you give a GT, it should be taught at 9 o'clock and you must finish at 1 to 1:30 depending upon which GT are you giving. So if you're giving a GT at 9, it must get over by 10, 11, 12, and then the 12:30. Now understand one thing. In the GT, while you're applying a GT, there should be no access to any mobile phone, no internet, and especially you're giving this in laptop, there should be no internet at all, and there should be no food availability. The only thing you should have with you is water. Believe me guys, the more you simulate the exam atmosphere, it really helps to improve your score in the next GT. And ultimately, the main exam just look like one more GT. How do you attempt for the GT? Do you attempt all the 200 questions, whether long or short? Well, I have seen so many students not even able to finish reading the GT, forget about improving the scores. So I would advise you to go first for the short questions, then for the longer questions, and at the long, go the very long questions. So these very long questions are really troubling us a lot. Many students are not able to read it. So I would advise you to read first of all the last three lines first of all. Not the last line, last 2-3 lines are very important for solving a questions. Options must be then read and then the image, and further on you can read the entire question if there's a need to. Else, this is a very good way to solve the long questions therefore. Well guys, time management. I would advise you to take a GT in the first 2 hours. Try to finish maximum question in the first 2 hours. Then in the next 45 minutes, go through those questions which are marked for review or you have any doubts. In the next 30 questions, again go for those questions which are completely not even attempted. And the last 15 questions, well, this is very tricky. You may go to those questions which you feel you were a bit doubtful, but it is often seen that the first guess is always correct. And when you try to change it, it often goes wrong because then we try to overthink the things. And the examiner doesn't think over. He just knows the fact, he knows the concept and makes a question for you. But in this last 15 minutes, don't change the questions a lot because you really have a good amount of idea. The exam is approaching. So have a bit confidence on yourself. You are all my dear students and I know that you are the best. Well, look at those questions in which you are completely sure. Then look at those in which you had a doubt, and then look at those questions in which you had no idea at all. Now, the biggest problem is this graph. We feel that the GT must improve like this. Well, this is only an ideal feature which never ever happens. Now, the various platforms of giving GT, right? There is the GT platform can be a prep, can be Marrow, can be Gurukul, can be DAMS, can be various other sources. I have seen the students giving 1 GT and they are scoring around 130. The moment they give some other platform GT, the score increases or decreases. Guys, please understand one thing. 1 GT from other platforms should not change how you feel like. Now, this up and low down will always come when you're applying for exam. The consistency is the overall picture. The overall picture must go in this direction, but it will never be like this. It will never and can never be. But if you're expecting your graph to just keep on going like this, guys, you're really putting a lot of pressure on yourself and maybe your scores instead of improving will surely dip down. So this will surely come down. Maybe you're appearing for the Gurukul GT, you got 130 correct, and appearing for the Marrow GT, you got 120 correct. Guys, it may happen. Don't worry about this a lot. Just ensure the questions you are making wrong, you will just ensure not to ever make that same question wrong again. Now, this is what I call an accuracy graph. Well, in technical language, what you call is this is a target. Okay. And suppose you hit a target again and again, we call this repeatability, also called as precision. Okay, and if you exactly hit the target, it is called as accuracy. Actually, what we want in an exam is the accuracy level. But don't we want repeatability? You always want repeatability, but this repeatability should be very close to the target. And this will come only when you practice the questions again, and again. The more the questions you practice, your accuracy level increases. The more you solve previous year questions, your accuracy level increases. The more you give time to yourself to read a question, to not falter by just going through the question and looking at the options, making a silly mistake, you actually increase your accuracies. So accuracy improvement is always based on practice, practice, and practice. And believe me, guys, this is the right time when you must practice to the maximum of your potential. Well, let's go to the individual scores now. What to do? For those who are getting more than 150 plus, guys, you don't need anyone to advise you. Just follow your own guts because you are really going in the right pathway. What is a safe score? 155 plus in any GT after deducting the -1 is a very, very good score. So if you're getting more than 150 plus, I'll say do what you want to. For knowledge enhancement, try to read those topics from the textbooks and it will really help you to improve your scores again and again. For those getting 130 to 150, guys, the analysis portion of the GT is very, very important. So how do you analyze a GT? How do you do analysis of the GT? I always talk about a piece of paper. Take a piece of paper and any question you just marked it wrong, just write down in a simple language and not to worry about your handwriting. Don't make a good handwriting there. No, don't make a good notes there. Just scribble there what went wrong in that particular question. When you go outside the next day or on the same day, take that paper with you. Don't throw the paper. Keep that in with you so that you can revise the same paper again if time permits, any time before the main exam. It is really, really a very good way, and I've seen students really improving the GT scores based on this analysis. How do you analyze the questions? First, look at those questions which you did not mark at all. You had no idea. Look at second those questions which you had a doubt. And finally, you can look at those questions which you actually attempted, but yes, that was a bit unsure, but you finally got it correct. Thumbs up to you all. Previous based knowledge score retrograde reading. So those who are getting 130, 150, look at the previous questions and based on that, go a retrograde reading from your own notes. Because you really are in the 130, 150 zone. It's a bit about safe zone, but the more you push from here to the 150 zones, it really becomes more and more better for you. The maximum students I'm seeing is falling in this category. Anyone who is between 100 to 130, guys, analysis again becomes a very, very important portion. The previous question retrograde reading is again a very important portion for you. But guys, I will ask you to read your notes carefully. Don't omit notes. I have seen students only going through previous questions, highlighting stuffs, but those things are only good for people who are here. For those who are here, you cannot afford to lose the notes because note is what will increase your accuracy, precision, and really get a good scores there. The highlighting special emphasis topics must be read very carefully. If you have made your own highlighting topics, read that. If you haven't, go to the Telegram of my Telegram video and just download the PDF I've shared to you. Just tick off those and at least read those. I've been asked, sir, are they sufficient? Guys, if you have time, read everything. But if you don't have time, at least do read those things. It's really must. From 70 to 100, guys, now you must be in a clear-cut real zone. The reality is that you have not read your notes very carefully. The more you read the notes, the more you solve the previous questions, and the more you emphasize on the highlight topics, really you are going to increase the number. By how much? It all depends on how hard are you working for the next few days. Well, for those who are getting less than 70, guys, this is a time you must dedicate every single minute of your preparation to the NEET exam. There should be no thought at all coming in your mind. Brushing, bathing, eating, all secondary. The only thing that should come to your mind is study, study, and study. So if you can do this, you can surely jump from here to here. Anyone here can jump here and they can jump here. So this jump is very important. And the more you try to push yourself, you will all come succeeded. I have seen students thinking, sir, mujhse nahi hoga. I cannot do it. Guys, ये last time में ना अपना पूरा लगा दो. जितना सोच सकते हो, the more you can think of yourself, the bigger you want to think of yourself, study to that extent. No one can stop you. The only person who can stop you is yourself. You may tell yourself, I cannot do it, but no one else is going to tell you. And if someone does, stop talking to him. I know you all, my students. I know you all much, much better than you all know yourself because I read such a lot of messages every day. It's different thing that I'm not able to reply to all of them, but my heart goes to everyone who's preparing for NEET PG. Please give your best. GT score are surely going to improve by the way I just taught you, the way I'm telling you, because the more you analyze your mistakes, try not to repeat the mistakes, try to give a GT in the right atmosphere, giving yourself the examiner's atmosphere, you will surely try to increase. But yes, there will be time when you go down, don't worry, you again go up. See you again in the next video. We'll talk about something else in which you are actually getting trouble. Let me know in the comment box below that what do you all want to know a bit more. Subscribe to my channel to get to know some more videos, and definitely join my subscribe to my Telegram group in which you can actually download the PDF of high yielding topics. See you again. Take care. Goodbye.